Okay, so this is a review of Deadbolt. It is a very good game. I would say this is one of my favorite games I've ever played. It's very, very enjoyable. The gameplay mechanics are really interesting. Every time you get a mission, you sit down in this chair and you talk to your fire, and the fire gives you mission details. And then after you get your details, you go in and you select your mission. You just keep doing that every time. So all the missions have different objectives. On this one, we need to kill the vampires marked with blue and collect cards from their corpse. So all the levels have different ways you can approach them. And getting really creative is a lot of fun and very rewarding in this game. Alright, overall, the gameplay is very fluid. You never reach any point where it just feels like it's moving slowly. Every single level is action-packed. And you don't always succeed. As you can see, I'm messing up a lot here. Even though everything's always the same, your execution is sometimes just a little bit off. That little bit that's off is what decides whether or not you're gonna beat the mission. There is no background or ambient music in this game, but it doesn't really need it. It's not hurting for the lack of it. This game rewards creativity for the most part. Levels like this are a bit straightforward, and it's kind of just up to your execution of aiming more than anything, which is harder than it seems, even though they're in the same place every time. As you can see there, it's kind of tricky to aim perfectly. Overall, the atmosphere of the game is very nice, honestly. There's many different types of undead you have to deal with, and the interactions with them is very fun. They haven't appeared yet in this playthrough, but there'll be vampires. You have to kill a vessel that's holding their soul before you can finish them off. And you have to locate those and figure out how to get to them. Vampires that are dancing won't attack you, because they're just party people. You can't fault them for it. Alright, so I have the first key card I need to get on this mission. This guy heard the gunshot, so he came to check out and decided against it. There we go. That was a lot harder of a shot than I hoped it would be. Alright, there's one more person. Nope. Alright, so we gotta collect the information from the chest. We just got the keys to unlock it. So we got the information we need, and we're done here. Killed her just for fun. Every time you complete your mission, you have to walk back to your car. So if you sneak by enemies on the way to your objectives, you also have to sneak by them on the way back to your car after you finish the mission. So the blue boxes here, you need to get those for the required information. Everything else is just flavor information. A new class of enemy is being introduced here. They're bulkier vampires that take a couple hits to kill. I've played through this a couple dozen times. So if I make it look easy, it's only just because I've tried these levels countless times. There's a lot of reward for playing patiently. It's good to just bide your time, wait for them to come for you, but you can rush if you want. These guys will keep running around a door until they calm down. So you can use that to your advantage and just wait for them. The objective for here is to kill the targets marked with the red arrows. Like I said earlier, all the missions have different objectives. You can use these events to traverse a level, which is a very interesting, unique mechanic, which I really like. It lets you go about the levels in really interesting ways. So I've killed all but 2. Alright, now I just have to kill all the undead because I've killed the marked targets. And we're just going to smash them because they are dancing and unaware, so we can just kill them with the sledgehammer, which is a one-hit KO on them. Piping counts as vents, such as toilets. And stage clear, return to your car. Overall, the gameplay mechanics are simple, but you can do a lot with them. You can get really, really creative. It's straightforward, but also challenging. There's a hard mode where there's a lot less vents to move around in, and there's higher level enemies. Here's the gameplay mechanic I was talking about. For these guys, you have to shoot the phylactery, or soul vessel, for them. And then you can kill them. The gun I have can shoot through walls if I hadn't dropped it by accident, or wasted all my ammo more accurately. So we have to collect key cards, but it's easier just to murder everyone on the way to the key cards. We are out of ammo, so we're going to have to play around that. Go pick up weapons that we got from the vampires we killed earlier. We don't have to kill these people, but it's better not to risk ever getting caught. And when you kill enemies, you can pick up some enemies' weapons, such as bouncers. I'm not going to spoil the story or the lore for you, but it's very interesting if you take the time to read all the mission information and you go through, and enemies drop cassette tapes, and it gives a little flavor text and tells you a bit about the background and the day-to-day for these creatures. The pistol I have can shoot through walls, which is obviously very useful, to say the least. For this mission, we have to burn all the drug stashes, which are being marked in blue for the objective. The sledgehammer is also one hit KO. The vents are going to be blocked with valves here. So we need to open these valves to be able to travel. There we go. So we're going to need to head over here. Burn these ashes. Also, you pick locks by following the movement prompts whenever you approach a locked door. I forgot to open that valve up. Yeah, I've played these levels so many times, I know them all by the back of my hand. It's not as easy as I'm making it look, trust me. You will have a lot of difficulty playing through the game, but the feeling you get when you actually succeed, where you figure out what works when everything else you've tried hasn't, it is amazing. It's a very rewarding game, and you feel really accomplished when you beat a mission that you've been stuck on for the last 30 minutes. You can see here I've played this game for 15 hours. It is $10. If you can get it on sale, there's no way you shouldn't pick it up. At full price, it's still an amazing game. So I would recommend getting it. But if you're not willing to pay full price, I can't fault you for it. But I've earned 14 out of 24 achievements, mainly just through playing normally. If you want an achievement hunt, it'll be like a couple extra hours, but it's a really fun game. It has a lot of replayability, going through missions differently in the hard mode. So it's definitely worth spending your time on. Overall, I would rate this game, I'd say 9 out of 10. The other reason I'm not giving it a 10 out of 10 is because there is a high degree of difficulty and a steep learning curve once you get into later parts of the game. I wouldn't say it feels unfair, but it's really difficult. I can't blame the game for being difficult. It just does really spike hard. So keep aware of that. Having a little bit of difficulty doing a trick with the dog, so I'll just start on the other side. You have to punch really hard to kill bottles, but it's worth saving the Revenant ammo. Ah, dang, didn't get in time. But yeah, anyways, as you can see here, if you're getting stuck, just try approaching the level a different direction. Because you're never really going to get stuck, you're just going to have a little roadblock you need to pass. And generally just trying it a different way than you've been doing will be enough to sort out your problems. You just have to be willing to try over and over. And like I said earlier, trying over and over is a very rewarding mechanism in the game, I'd say. You just have to be willing to accept failure and be willing to try again. It's a really fun game, so you won't mind having to try the levels over and over until you get the hang of it. I've played this a lot, and I still don't get it perfectly every time. So don't expect that you're going to do everything perfectly on your first try. It's just not going to happen. I'm kind of stuck here because I wasted all my ammo. So we will see where this guy goes. If we can get by the bouncer. Okay, we're going to just have to go for a somewhat suicidal play here. Alright, we pulled off using cover. We are very fortunate that worked out for us. Ah, that's unfortunate. Yeah, basically just, if you can't beat the level the way you're playing it, play it a different way. That's as simple as it gets. You just have to be willing to commit to trial and error. And see, even though I'm doing it the same way, if your aim is off by just a little bit, you have to really focus on how you're doing things. It's a very worthwhile game. It's very worth giving this game a shot. I should be going for the one on the ceiling before I go for the other one. Yep, I messed up again. If you find yourself making mistakes like I am, just take a break and come back to level with a new mindset. That's even one of the loading screen tips for this game. That was close. Oh. I'm gonna finish this level just for the sake of showing you how it's done. But overall, can't really touch on more in the review than what I've done. It's a very enjoyable game. It gets frustrating at times, but the payoff for the frustration is well worth it. The art style is great. I really like the pixel art. It reminds me of older games. The little bit of a retro vibe to it. And all the different enemies have really unique character models. She won't move until she calms down. Just gonna shoot her when she comes down the floor. Oh my god, I missed. As you can see, it gets frustrating at times. It's worth the frustration though, just hang in there. You'll find yourself making small mistakes you didn't make in the previous attempts. And it's a difficult game. If I have to praise it for one thing, it's going to be the difficulty of it. I didn't think I would have enough time to grab the bottle using my fist. That guy is very beefy. You have to work hard to kill him. There we go. This one uses pistols. Alright, and then the phylacteries for these people are their twins. So you have to get there quickly and kill the other twin. So we just made it there. Alright, this has been Deadbolt. Your reviewer for the day has been snowpwn. Thank you very much for watching. Look at all this carnage. Alright, overall, very fun game. Great atmosphere. Very engaging and interesting gameplay mechanics. There's a high level of replayability. You can speedrun this game in like 30 minutes. It takes a lot of practice, but you can do it. The lore is very interesting. If you take the time to read and read the cassette tapes and just pay attention to all the dialogue on all the levels, there's a lot going on story-wise. $10, you get what you pay for. It's a good game. I'd recommend supporting the developer. Alright. Thank you very much.